this is Mr. Beast, and today I'm gonna be building 100 famous people in Lego. From US presidents, movie stars, millionaires, musicians, and yes, even YouTubers. Hit that subscribe button, and let's go. Now starting off at number 1 is the world's #1 richest man, Elon Musk, otherwise known as the real-life Iron Man. He owns SpaceX, Tesla, all these crazy companies. So for him, I gave him Han Solo's face, as well as some cool brown hair, and a rocket, because he likes rocket. And speaking of real-life Iron Man, at number 2, we have the actual Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. For him, I actually went out and bought an entire Iron Man set and built it up, so we'll be able to use that for the rest of these guys. Now, there are a ton of Marvel actors, so I'm gonna try to hit up the main ones. So at number 3, we have Tom Holland. We also have him alongside Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, who are the other Spider-Men and are iconic. And that was 3, 4, 5, and also 6 is Zendaya. At 7, we have Chris Evans, the role of Captain America, and he also played Buzz Lightyear. At 8, we have the totally very fit Chris Hemsworth. This was probably one of the funniest things I ever saw in a movie with Fat Thor. That was just hysterical. At number 9, we have Doctor Strange, or Benedict Cumberbatch. And at number 10, we have Scarlett Johansson. And how could I forget, at number 11, Chris Pratt. Oh wait, that's Emmett from the Lego movie. I actually didn't have a Star-Lord figure, so that's on me. Since Lego already made these, I didn't really have to do any customization, but going forward, we're gonna have a ton of it. It's about drive, it's about power, because at number 12, we have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. For him, I gave him this plain white shirt, some skin-toned arms, as well as this clone trooper face, as well as a dumbbell. And for him, I also built a little jungle around him because he only seems to star in jungle-themed movies. And at number 13, to go along with Dwayne, I made Chris Rock. Yes, the guy who our number 14, Will Smith, slapped on stage. And now that we have those guys out of the way, we have a couple of others. Christian Bale from The Dark Knight, Leonardo DiCaprio from The Wolf of Wall Street, Tom Cruise from Top Gun, Keanu Reeves from John Wick, Tom Hanks from Forrest Gump, Marlon Brando from The Godfather, and Samuel L. Jackson from literally everything. What movie has this man not been in? I know I missed a bunch of celebrities, so I'm sorry, but let's get into our next group. Now next up we have a bunch of famous presidents. And since there are only like 45 of them, I had to go through some of the ones I thought were most relevant. Now first is that guy from the $1 bill, George Washington. He's the first president. For him, I gave him Doc Brown's hair, as well as Luke Skywalker's face and this old-timey torso, as well as a musket and a sword. How epic is this guy? And we also have Abraham Lincoln, who is great. He has this special top hat piece, which came in a CMF series, as well as the rest of the figure. And you also have the Gettysburg Address. And then we can move on to some more modern presidents, like John F. Kennedy. He's largely responsible for a lot of the space mission. We have Ronald Reagan, who I actually think looks pretty good, and Obama. And then for President Trump, I built him up and he looks very good, and then I gave him his own wall. And after that was all done, I attached some stairs to it because Joe Biden was up and we know he doesn't have a great time with stairs or bikes. And then we have my favorite president, Calvin Coolidge. And if you don't know who that is, don't worry, it's not your fault. Now next up, we are going to be doing famous YouTubers and streamers. And starting off at number 30 with the biggest one is Mr. Beast. And to make it fun, I'm gonna have a little challenge. Last to take their hand off the subscribe button wins. So anyway, Mr. Beast's on the island and I got some of his other creator friends. And at 31, we have PewDiePie. 32, we have Eric with some pizza, Logan Paul, and Jake Paul. By the way, these guys look great. And for streamers, we have Ninja and Pokimane. Quite honestly, I think these all look fantastic, but I also wanted to add some famous Lego channels, so I threw in TD Bricks, who happens to be dressed as a chicken, and also Sacred Bricks with a little minifigure in his hand. And unfortunately for me, I'm broke, so the winning prize is going to be $1. Tell me who the winner should be in the comments down below. Now for the next few figures, I made some of the best sports players ever. First up, we have my boy Babe Ruth, who also happens to be a candy bar. I gave him this old-timey outfit, a custom face with a little cigar in it, a baseball cap. I gave him a bat and this white stud as a ball. Very epic. Next up, we got my boy Muhammad Ali. He looks really cool. I used the face of Mace Windu for him, as well as gave him some red hands. And I think overall it looks just great and is one of my favorite fighters of all time. We also have the all-time MVP, Michael Jordan. Sorry, LeBron. MJ's just better than you. For Michael, I gave him Lando Calrissian's head, and I think it actually worked out really well with him. But since the torso and head is double-sided, the back looks kind of funny. Next up, we have gymnast Simone Biles. Simone Biles is fantastic. For her, I gave her this pink torso, as well as one of the characters from Star Wars' face, as well as Rose Tico's hair, and some gymless legs. And then we also got Kobe Bryant, who is just the best. And finally, we have the best football player of all time, Tom Brady. I gave him this buffed up armor piece as well as Han Solo's hair, and I had to make my own football because I couldn't find one. And that is every sports person I made. Now for the next few, I want to do some famous memes of humans. Basically just a variety of people who have been trending, are well known, that sort of thing. And first up, we have Andrew Tate. Now, the top G is well known for being very rich and having controversial takes.
You're scared of bubbles?
No, it doesn't even hydrate you?
Of course I can hydrate you. It's water. What do you think, water doesn't hydrate you? You're scared of bubbles?
What I did for him was got him some black pants, a Han Solo jacket, as well as a head with some awesome black shades, and I also gave him some cash so he could go out and buy his next car. Now, obviously, I tried to find his Bugatti, but Lego doesn't make one in minifigure scale, so I just ended up getting him this Lambo at Target. So I went home, built it up, and here it is. It's actually a really cool car, and I think he looks sick in it. And at 46, we have Steve Carell from The Office. This guy is an absolute legend and iconic meme. After that, we have Joe Rogan, another famous podcast host who's well known throughout the world. For him, he got Jango Fett's face as well as some headphones, which I just think looked really well to match his persona. And then after that, we have Ben Shapiro. And for him, I gave him the first ever Lego yarmulke. Let's say hypothetically, for the sake of your argument, that you were wrong. Oh, got him, dude, oh my god. And then after that, we have two totally real people. First up, we made Walter White. I gave him a nice little sweater, some blue crystal, and a little beaker for him to do some special experiments with. And at number 50, Better Call Saul, it's Saul Goodman. He's basically the lawyer for Walter White from Breaking Bad, and he has his own TV show. We're over halfway there now. Now, at number 51, we have Adam Sandler. For Adam Sandler, I just gave him some blue legs as well as this special torso and this face from Seinfeld. And on top of him, we also did do Jerry Seinfeld. So I just used his minifigure from the set. It's a great figure. They really nailed it. And for him, I decided to use the one he dressed up as. He dressed up like his own Lego minifigure. How great is that? We also have Dave Chappelle with the hot takes. I thought this purple jacket looked really good on him. Will Ferrell, who's trying to echo his character from the Lego movie. He was the dad. So I did use, of course, President Business's hair and torso, but I switched up the head a little bit. He also happened to play Buddy the Elf, which is why I thought he looked good in the Peter Pan costume. And then we also have Ricky Gervais. For him, I used Daryl's torso from The Office, and he's obviously iconic for his role in the Muppets Most Wanted movie. Last but not least is one of the best comedians of all time, Robin Williams. He's obviously famous for characters like the Genie and in Jumanji, but my favorite role of his was when he was in Peter Pan, so I decided to dress him up like Peter Pan and gave him this Rex Dangervest hairpiece. So with that said, let's move into the next section. Now, next up, I want to cover some music icons. First up, we have Frank Sinatra, the first real famous singer as well as my personal favorite. Now, what I did for Frank was give him this nice suit from one of the Muppet minifigures as well as Han Solo's face and a black fedora. I also gave him a microphone and can sing some absolutely charming tunes. Next up after that, we have the king of rock and roll, Elvis. For him, I found some black legs as well as a Batman torso, a very confident face, and I decided to throw in a hound dog. Bruce Springsteen, who's known for Born in the USA, Dolly Parton, who's known for owning an amusement park and the song Working 9 to 5, and Mariah Carey, who's very well known for All I Want for Christmas Is You. You've probably heard it one time. Very annoying. Eminem, one of the best rappers ever, who sang Slim Shady, Michael Jackson, who's well known for Thriller, Ariana Grande for 7 Rings, and we also have Taylor Swift and Phil Swift. Wait, Phil Swift's not a singer. He's the guy who does the flex tape.
I saw this boat in half!
So we have Lady Gaga, who sang Wrecking Ball. And I also threw in Tony Bennett with Lady Gaga. And of course, our last musician is the Walmart yodeling kid. You'll remember him from that trend where, he yodeled in the middle of a Walmart and became an internet sensation. And at 69, we have the rapper, 69. Yeah, this guy's a little bit eclectic looking. So we started with some blue and green leg, as well as a orange sweater that's topped by a white jacket of sorts. And I gave him this Batman face with Anna's hair from Frozen. Yeah, he's kind of disturbing looking. And in number 70, we have the legendary 007, or James Bond. Now, Lego recently did put out a James Bond car, so I went to Target and picked this thing up, and then we put it together. And might I mention, the Aston Martin is one of the nicest looking cars I've ever seen. And for our next category, I want to go through some popular historical figures. At 71, we have Moses with the 10 Commandments. At 72, we also have Noah with all of the animals from the Ark. At 73, we have Shakespeare, who has the skull. 74, we have Alexander the Great. And 75, we have Napoleon. And who could forget Beethoven? I gave him some musical notes, which are actually from one of the Muppets, Ralph. of which there was actually a bust of Beethoven. I was able to use that for the hair. At 77, we did Harriet Tubman, who freed a lot of slaves and was an all-around amazing hero. And then moving into the 1900s, we have at 78, Charlie Chaplin with his special top hat. And at 79, we have Walt Disney, the founder of Disney. For him, I gave him a little Lego version of the Disney castle, as well as a Mickey Mouse minifigure of his classic Mickey Mouse. And at 80, we have Albert Einstein, a very famous scientist. For him, I used Dr. Bunsen Honeydew's torso and legs. And at 81, we have the legend himself, Martin Luther King Jr. And then moving on to one of my favorites, at 82, we have Jim Henson, the creator of, I don't know if you've heard him, The Muppets. What I did for Jim was give him this nice red sweater, as well as this awesome smiley brown bearded face, and a Kermit puppet. At 83, we have Marilyn Monroe, an icon from the 50s. At 84, we have Queen Elizabeth, the former Queen of England. At 85, we have the first man on the moon, Neil Armstrong. And at 86, we have the second man on the moon, Buzz Aldrin. We also have some huge entrepreneurs like Jeff Bezos from Amazon. I even gave him this little custom Lego Amazon package. Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook, and Steve Jobs from, of course, Apple. And who can forget one of the most important inventors ever, Thomas Edison. He invented the light bulb. Now we are in the final 10 minifigures, and we're gonna do a lot of the Star Wars actors, so let's get started. And by the way, I have a brand new Lego Star Wars channel specifically dedicated to all my other Lego stuff that I do. It is the Republic Stud Show. All you have to do is type that into YouTube. Anyway, let's get started. Moving into 91 with Mark Hamill. He is the actor who played Luke Skywalker. It is him in the 80s in his Dagobah attire. And then moving to 92, we have Harrison Ford. He is also famous for his role not only in Star Wars, but in Indiana Jones. And then we also at 93 have Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher obviously played Princess Leia. And then after that at 94 we have Hayden Christensen. He played Anakin Skywalker in the prequels as well as in the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series. And of course, speaking of Obi-Wan, we have Ewan McGregor. Yes, you thought I was gonna go this whole list without having Ewan McGregor. And on top of that, we have Natalie Portman at 96. And then finally, for Star Wars, we have the director himself, George Lucas. For George, I gave him a red flannel, as well as Obi-Wan Kenobi's face, and gray hair, as well as a black piece to symbolize a clapboard. And that is all of our Star Wars picks. Now we have 3 people left. At 98, we have Steve Harvey, because I just felt like I should throw him in. He's the host of the show Family Feud. We also have at 99, the Swedish Chef, my favorite Muppet. And at 100, we have you, the subscriber. And with that said, that is 100 celebrities in Lego. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comments which celebrity I missed, because I missed an absolute ton. And yes, I know I missed Ryan Reynolds. I am sorry. Either way, with that said, I will see you all in the next one. Remember to subscribe, peace out, and stay awesome.